This might be the worst cliffhanger. This might be it. This might be the worst one we've had because I was so into it.
Yeah, I think was this one of the first like cliffhangers they didn't hit us with like an existential sense of dread potentially, and it's like, oh my god,
was a big
I feel
feeling.
Am I stupid to feel hope? Because
you might be right that this might be the first cliffhanger that's like exciting in a hopeful way and not oh shoot, bad stuff's coming for us next episode.
Or like, oh my god, did that happen? Or is this character
really
dead?
Are we seeing wrong? Are we understanding wrong?
Oh my god, that shot though, that would like burst into flames behind him. Oh my god.
His reason is because he was born into this world. Oh my god.
It's almost like he was born into this world. It's his right. Like it's his right to be able to go outside the walls and see what the world is, you know?
And he has to fight because he was born into this world. So
yeah.
He can't ignore what's happening. He can't ignore the suffering as well.
Oh. I like the idea of Armin like telling him like, this is why you stopped talking about it. You had the realization that if I went, I might die, and you don't want that for me, you know? That's a really nice moment to have. And I like how Armin is a very important part of this episode too. I was thinking that he, like, after his speech was going to be like on the wall, but he broke out, he came here, and he's not cutting Aaron out. Right. He's like believing in him and staking that belief still continually. Like, and he's trying to motivate him right now. He doesn't know that Aaron can hear him. He's just like full belief, you know?
I'm sure it's like this was plan A, and then once it gets where maybe there's a Titan approaching them closely, he would then try to surgically cut Aaron out. But, oh my gosh. And then like think about what reached. Screaming and pounding and yelling didn't reach him, but once he really started talking to him as if he was his best friend and they were just having a conversation, that's when it started to click. And can we talk about how Armin obviously defied his post and his orders running over here? He's not supposed to be on the full other side.
If this mission doesn't go well, are Armin and Mikas's heads still on the block? Like, are they still in trouble?
I think they were only in trouble because I don't think they were in trouble necessarily. I think that they were going to be basically sacrificial kills in order to just kill Aaron. I don't think it was like we're going to kill you no matter what.
Gotcha. Not like a defending a Titan traitorous kind of like,
they labeled them traitorous.
That's why
but it didn't. I felt like they were only killing them because they were in the way.
They're not at any risk, right? Pixis said that they're under his protection, right? So I think, yeah, that makes sense. Dude, the fact that Armin was like, all right, I know just from memory exactly where his body is, and I am going to stab him, and it's going to hurt, but it won't kill him if I'm specific about it. And he just had the trust in himself to go for it.
Which is an amazing idea that I'm surprised I didn't think about. So, theory-wise, what was the true theory? Was wrong about Mikasa, it being the wrong roof. It was basically
she just jumped out of the way.
She just jumped out of the way. No one was being a backstabber, literally. But the theory of what happened to Aaron is that he just couldn't get control over the instincts of the Titan that he was in. He couldn't take control of the body.
Yeah. Why? I'm assuming...
And he said he was so tired.
Yeah, I'm assuming because he's used it too much, right? But I'm confused. Like, I don't know why he goes into the dream state. Am I taking that face value? Is he in the dream state because he is so tired that he passed out and this is the reality that he wants, so he's dreaming about it?
Or it's like a trauma response or something.
Or trauma response.
Like he's transported back to a happy memory because he doesn't want to think about everything else. Is
it making him think that stuff to keep him out of control?
I don't think so. I feel like it's totally just linked to this being a new thing within his body to kind of try to figure out and work up stamina towards.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised instead of not turning into it, he turned into it and it had like an adverse effect. Like that's so much more dangerous. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, fairy tales and flowers and butterflies. If he's too tired, he's not going to be able to do it, and they retreat. Not, oh, he's going to be able to do it, but you guys are fucked because of it. Like you guys are going to potentially die if he is too tired, because it will have like a will of its own and try to kill you regardless of who you are.
I'm kind of surprised now that they didn't give him more of a chance to like chill out and recuperate after him having to turn with cannons.
It was like
pointed against
it's a
him.
game of time, right? The longer you wait, the more Titans are going to get in there.
The area. Yeah.
God, Mikasa is such a badass. What do you think of my question? Where do you think she ranks according like to the rest of the people?
Well, she was included with the best of the best 3. But obviously that comes with the grain of salt of she might have been included purely to make sure she was there to protect Eren if the other soldiers decided that they didn't want to. I think she's pretty up there. I think they're already seemingly were probably impressed by her.
Yeah.
But that's a good question.
Here, Armin said, Eren came out of the Titans' vital point. It's probably related to the mystery behind them. Don't know where we could go from that.
Well, the mystery behind them is that's the only place you can kill them.
Yes, but why is it?
Is he there?
Yeah, like in episode 4, like whenever we found out that Eren was in the back of it for the first time, I was like, oh, does every Titan have that? But we would have seen that when the chunks are cut out of the Titan, so I don't think that's at all it.
We didn't see any deaths. We just heard about deaths. Every character that we saw
dead bodies
almost being eaten was saved. Yes, we did see a dead body, especially with Jean looking out the building, which kind of convenient that there's a body right kind of outside the building that he hid in.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's convenient because so many died. It's only a matter of place that of course there's going to be that many dead bodies around, right?
Yeah.
2,
that makes sense.
I don't know if I'm he might be subconsciously having that plan in mind, and that's why he ran into the building, and he keeps being like, could I think of it? I gotta think of it, you know? I gotta think of something to do. Sometimes I get insecure about saying things that I want to during the episode because I don't want to say their name wrong.
I get you.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't know why Pixis is the hardest thing ever for me to grasp exactly what his name is.
Yeah. Mikasa says, could Eren be drawing them? It seems like it, right? It seems like from the episode that they all went towards him, there was something drawing them. I'm assuming it's just human-y. He's a big human now. He has maybe human flesh instead of Titan flesh, or there's something.
They were eating him, cannibalism, which they hadn't seen them do that before. So he must taste different.
But they don't do it for taste, right?
They don't do it for taste. You're so right. That's why it doesn't make sense why they would be drawn to him.
Then I would think it's they know, it's like a hive mind, you know, or
they know he's a imposter.
Yeah, and or they know that he should be not we thought, okay, it seemed like the Colossal and Armored Titan have intelligence more so than the abnormal and the regular Titans, right? And then we were like, oh, is the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan generals, or is this their army kind of thing? But then we didn't know how intelligent they actually were. Could they be given orders? If would they be told if they could understand and be told orders, would they be told kill this one, it's different and it could be a risk to us?
Yeah, they could.
I don't think I've like with the which was the one that kicked down the door, or no, I think the armored one ran through the door, and the colossal one kicked through the wall. Neither of them hit it hard enough, well, from what we saw, to lose a limb. It seems like every time Eren punches something, he is breaking it. Is that just because of like how powerful he is, or like how like every shot's 110%?
I was wondering if it's more just based on the fragility of his body without having mastered this.
Gotcha.
So he's almost like volatile to his own self because he hasn't mastered it.
So in that way of thinking, could you strengthen your body through practice or experience?
I think so. Or maybe it could be one of those things where you have to have more injections of it.
You build up like an immunity to it?
That, or you are injected with more and more like of it, so you have more strength. Yeah, I guess maybe even to help yourself have control inside. I don't know.
I really like Ian and Rico. Like I like the whole team. Like everything Rico was saying was very valid IMO.
Oh no, totally. Very valid, and except like valid because it makes sense that a lot of people would think that way.
Yeah.
That it wasn't worth it to risk all of those lives over something that you can't fully trust or understand. But I think I obviously logically agree with Ian the most. If we didn't know Eren, and like we had no relationship with Eren up until this point, and we heard both of their points of view about using this human weapon that they aren't sure about, I think I would still side with Ian that humanity's like literally has nothing right now to be able to regain. They're literally like barely getting by survival.
Yes, if like as I'm sitting right here in my gamer boy chair, I agree with you. I would also be like, look at the situation. Nothing we've ever done has worked. All we've done is continuously die and lose less numbers than we had previously. We keep losing every battle. We've never won it. We should go for the option. If it's 1 in 1 billion, we should go for it because that's better than slowly dying. If I'm in the universe and have a bunch of loved ones and family who die, and I am on the line, and I have kids back home, say, or, you know, that might be a harder decision to make.
I don't know, but think back to Pixis' speech, where all those people who were thinking about their family were walking away until he started talking about this is the world you would leave behind for them.
Yeah.
You would let them live in this world where they're just kind of counting their days until the next wall is broken down or they're sent to a culling as well.
Yeah.
Basically, trusting any type of possibility, even if it's like such a small percentage of a chance that it could work out, is the only thing you can do to protect future generations of your family and or the people that are alive right now.
I agree with you. I just don't know. Like, I would hope that I'd still do it if I was in that situation. It must be difficult, though. I think, like, I don't blame her for saying anything or like, hell, like, obviously she still went along with her orders, right? Giving a counter argument is never a bad idea because it could just reinforce the idea altogether like it did. You know? Oh, my God. Okay. We can talk about it now, right? We can talk about it.
Talk about what?
The boyfriend
ordeal. The boyfriend
ordeal, bro.
I was like, where are you going? The boyfriend reveal?
Ordeal.
Oh, ordeal. I was like...
It's an ordeal.
It's an ordeal.
Okay. I have to, like, really open my mind here because initially, like, I kind of... Even though that we had the amazing backstory reveal of Mikasa, my instinct is to be like, they're so close, they're siblings, all three of them. And then I have to, like, remind myself, like, no, they only live together for a short period of time. She's very protective of him. They have a very close relationship and bond. And I've never even thought about it, right?
And remember, I think we talked about it last episode, Mikasa has kept, he's kept saying to Mikasa, you're not my, like, you're not, I don't know, I don't want to say you're not my family.
Yeah.
But he's been saying stuff that, like, has that feel to her lately. And then to go into someone else kind of putting a label on whatever they view their situationship to be. And then look at that blush.
Mikasa blushing is something I never knew I needed, but now that I have it, I could never live without. It is amazing.
Jean wishes he was there right now to do that. He wishes.
No, Jean would be jealous, bro.
Yeah, but then part of him would be like, I'm so glad I was blessed with seeing Mikasa blush.
She's very cute.
But it definitely calls upon, I think it's almost reinforced, little things they've said to each other throughout has kind of reinforced in the last 3 episodes that they aren't in fact related.
Yeah.
They are not family by blood.
Definitely.
They are close bonded by circumstance. And
So I think my issue, like not issue, my problem understanding it, like which is my fault, was that we have been shown no sense of peace and happiness that in the show so far, that in my mind I haven't even considered love. Like I'm so used to like death and destruction.
The only couple we saw
has died.
Well, one of them has died. Yes, don't know where the other one is. Maybe
true,
they've
Hannah,
died now
I think.
too.
But I'm so used to like the death in it. I was like,
you kind of forget
relationships
that
can happen.
There's other aspects of a world.
Yeah.
And that there are obviously people who are having kids in this world for more soldiers to be there. I think about it. Ooh, I just thought of something. It's in the same vein of conversation in terms of Aaron's words and what he says to the people he's close to and cares about in order to kind of push them away from danger. So obviously Armin brings up, you stop talking about this and that in order for me to not want to join the Scouts.
Correct.
Well, maybe the things he's been saying to Mikasa, he's kind of reminding her, like, you don't owe me sacrificing your life.
Yeah.
You don't owe me putting your life on the line to save mine. Like, we aren't, like, flesh and blood. Like, you know, there's a different sense of, like, responsibility that he's trying to say. You don't have that. You don't have to do any of these things that you don't want to do because it's not like you're my sister.
Yeah. Aaron obviously is smart enough to know and fully understand the likelihood of death in what he wants to do and his goal, like being in the Scouts.
He doesn't want to bring anyone.
Why would he want somebody who he cares
with.
about and loves into that same situation? That
it seemed like he was happy when like other people said they were going to join the Scouts, like the other people he trained with. But it seems like it's definitely the people that he's close to. He doesn't necessarily want them to also pick one of the most dangerous jobs.
So it didn't seem like a memory, right? Like there's no interaction.
It's like an ideal.
It's like a safe place.
A safe place. That's a nice. It's kind of like, where does his mind retreat when he's scared or doesn't know anything? It retreats to the happiest days of his life when, what was that situation? Him being home. His dad's home. His dad's not gone. Mikasa's there. His mom's there. It's interesting that the memory that's the happiest in his life was basically the year that all of this happened. Right before it all happened.
Mikasa's there. Like, that's part of it. You know?
That was probably the fullest and happiest his life was. He had, like, another best friend, someone to be really close with. And she obviously became really good friends with Armin as well. And it was like a happy home.
Man. I love the attention to detail in the show. I like that there's a little box under Mikasa so she can stand on it because she's so really tiny cute. And she's like washing dishes or cleaning dishes.
I was just thinking about how the dad's home, but if Aaron was like completely conscious about this chosen memory,
exactly,
I don't know if he would include his dad right now because he has a lot of questions.
Well, if he was like, that's why I was like, okay, it's not a memory and he's not conscious of it because there's no dialogue, right?
Yeah,
like there's no talking, but amongst the family, the family members did look at him at one point, right?
Mm-hmm. They all turned and looked at him,
like when he was about to snap out of it.
They weren't real. It wasn't like
like
actual memory.
Yeah.
It was all just a place of quiet and calm.
I'm going fucking full crazy right here. I'm about to look at the dad's book.
Yeah, we can't read that.
But I wish I could.
I doubt he would read his important secret research at the dinner table.
That looks like a scorpion. That kind of looks like a stegosaurus. That looks like
I thought it was like a horse.
Could be.
Then the other one's a seahorse at the very end.
That looks like a smiley face. It's circled, has to be important.
Yeah, that line, zoom in.
Enhance the image.
Enhance the image.
Oh, he's drinking something red.
Blood.
Blood.
He's drinking blood.
This was such a cool scene, man. Like, Aaron, like, it just exploding around him. Oh my god. I don't think
we've seen anything that cool with Aaron as the forefront of the image and something happening in the background, other than the colossal appearing behind him.
Yeah.
That's been like the most like kind of strikingly beautiful of him staring forward towards us, the audience, and something happening around and behind him, and the colors were really bright.
It gives me the essence of like a transformation, you know, like a Super Saiyan, or like obviously that's not what happened here, but just like the way that his hair is blowing, and like the animation and art in this show is so good, man.
It's like it's an imagery of what his drive and passion and motivation actually looks like inside his body.
Yeah. Ugh, man.
Just a little Aaron. A little young Aaron on fire.
This episode's hard because I just want more. Doesn't it feel like it's like a 2-part episode or something?
Yeah, which is funny because all of them are labeled with a number at the end, and this is literally like the 8th part episode.
Yeah.
Of one movie, almost. Like, this is just the Battle of Trust, the movie.
What do you think's gonna happen with Jean? Do you think he's gonna save himself, or do you think he's gonna have help?
At first, I thought maybe Mikasa was gonna come in, but now that he's inside the house, I feel like it's up to Connie and Annie to get in there.
I love Connie, Annie, and John. I like that we're still seeing them, because I think they could have easily just focused on like Aaron, Mikasa,
we even saw a little bit of Marco.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And Marco was saying that he had faith in Aaron. He was like, I think Aaron's okay. And I was like, yeah.
You know what I think's really cool? Like when Armin's like telling him about the outside world, and they like show the imagery in their animation style in this show of what a desert looks like, of what a bug looks like, of like the water, you know, like just life, you know, nature, Aurora Borealis, glaciers, like you really want to see it, right? I feel like them. Like I'm like, I want to go to the outside world.
Does it make you wonder if the landscape is actually like ours, and these are just more fantastical ways to phrase it? Because the wording of what it's... can you go back so I can read exactly like the words he used to describe the outside world? It was like flaming water or something.
Yeah.
Like they're very... Flaming water. Frozen earth. Snow white plains of sand. It's like these, I think it's probably looks like our landscape, but these are just more fantastical ways to say it. Like, fiery water is probably lava or something, or magma, and white plains of sand is probably like a desert. It's really bright, light sand covering a vast majority of the area.
Well, now I'm worried.
Frozen earth. So obviously we have that.
Look at these pictures, right?
Yeah.
So we saw this droplet. Mm-hmm. We saw the desert. We saw the Aurora Borealis. This
grasshopper.
We didn't see the fire one. Does this not look like oil and sludge, like being on fire?
Oh my god, that looks like a waste, a toxic waste barrel.
That makes
with oil coming out of it.
I wonder what age this took, like how advanced their civilization was. Is this do they look like boats? It's upside down, so it's hard for me to tell.
Those boats look like sailboats.
Are they boats?
Yes.
It kind of looks like
They look like sailboats. So doesn't that make you think like this? What if this is our world?
Like that we live in.
But they...
Toxic waste is such a crazy contrast. Like, I thought it was going to be lava, and it might be. Who knows?
It looks like oil.
But it doesn't, like, from the canister or the barrel it's coming out of.
Makes you wonder if it was, like, our current... Whenever this anime, like, whenever the story was written, it's, like, taking the people in that world and what would happen in a giant worldwide disaster. Would we all regress back to more ancient technology and weaponry and ways of dress?
I'm sure if you're confined to a certain area, you know, and you don't want to take up space, like living space, but it's so odd to me because it's like in this book, from what we've been shown, it's all like nature and environment. We're not showing any like progression of like technology or humanity, right?
Except for sailboats.
Yeah, but that's just in this too. Like just the top images here. It's like if I was playing a game and it was like which of these are not like the other, like it would be this picture, you know? Like why? Like it's weird.
It's the one non-natural landscape. It's a fire that started by some black sludge from a barrel.
Yeah. Very odd. And this is a beach, right?
Palm trees.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's interesting that this is a book about the world. Like, obviously, it's written by somebody who's been around the world, or it is just such common knowledge by the time that this book is written that this is what the world looks like. But then I'm like, the way that these look almost like drawings, not prints, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I don't know, man. It's interesting. It gives me in Hunter x Hunter, there's the Dark Continent, and one of the there's 2 editions of a book. One's been found where it like goes about describing the Dark Continent and what it's like, and it gives me similar vibes just because it's like no in this
the place no one's gone or survived.
Like in the Dark Continent is the entire Earth to them, right? Like in the Attack on Titan world, because they're like they've never been to it. It's just all these like ideas of wonder, you know. I want to read this entire book.
Pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really digging the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that they don't show us that, right? Like they show us the picture of it, the drawing of it, but they don't show it colored and on screen like the rest of it.
Yeah. I wonder if they, like, obviously, if everything goes well, Aaron's allowed to live after this possible failure of a mission. Once they're in the Scouts, will they see everything that's in that book?
Maybe.
But I feel like the Scouts don't... How far do the Scouts go away from the wall?
I imagine not far.
I imagine as well that they don't go very... Because it's almost like they're more just protecting the area.
Well, they're trying to retake land, correct?
Yes, but I think it's also kind of surveying kind of what the world outside looks like, maybe for resources or for how many Titans are in the area. Maybe just ensuring that more Titans don't walk up to the wall. Maybe also get further research on Titans. I'm not really sure.
I don't know, because from if that's the case, that's a very high up like government mission that not everybody like knows about, you know? Like if they are gathering information about like the outside world and like trying to like learn about it, obviously it's such like a contrast to what we like our characters have experienced. It's illegal to talk about the outside world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like they don't go too far. Because especially if humans are at such a loss against Titans, they probably wouldn't want to be too far from medics or a food supply.
I wanted to read the title
information we can share so far. I just love that they phrase these slides like that.
The second one's kind of brutal. Users must shift their entire weight to one side of their hips to the other. This promotes acrobatic movements and heavily taxes the muscles. I like it. Again, I would love to try this out so I could get put in place and how difficult this is. It sounds like the most difficult thing in the world. 3D maneuver gear training. For this reason, instructors will deliberately cut student lifelines to gauge reactions. While unsafe, anyone who dies during training would be unable to fight Titans anyway.
True. Well, we do know that they are willing to sacrifice lives that are kind of unfit to fight for survival.
We never saw that animated, but
just
I'm
by
glad
what we're told of It's kind of like anyone's life who isn't able to be useful in humanity's survival. It doesn't really matter if they die.
Do you think, like, this is just for us? Like, the
information we can share so far?
Yeah, or like the drawings here, right?
Yeah, I think it probably is for us to understand how it works.
Like, do you think it's in, like, a information book about ODM gear?
Maybe they actually read a book that's like this. It reminds me of Death Note, how there's like information like between parts of the show to kind of help us better understand how ODM gear works and or how the Death Note works in that example.
God, I'm so excited to learn more about the world. And I wonder if we're ever gonna go out. Out. Like, I want to see different, like I want to see the Aurora Borealis. I want to see Armin, Aaron, and Mikasa react to the Aurora Borealis in, like, Alaska, you know?
I feel like narratively, Armin and, like, the other two, Aaron and Mikasa, have to experience those wonders together. I feel like, especially with that being, like, Armin's, like, passion goal of his, and Aaron and him have been talking about it since they were a kid, and they're bringing it back up to wake Aaron up. I feel like that's definitely something that they all narratively should experience together. Would make me really happy. I think the thing I'm going to be most curious about for if they travel outside of the walls is, I've said before that what if there are other civilizations that have walled themselves up as well?
Yeah.
Like, there has, like, it makes it, it's hard for me to think that there is only one settlement that has survived over this whole world. But, you know, maybe it's the case. Maybe this is just where the most people were located with the best tools and the best means to create the walls.
The only reason I wouldn't think that other people are alive is because the Titans' innate ability to seek people out. Unless they built something as spectacular but in a different way, at like a wall, or Titans can't swim, I don't see how it's possible, you know?
I feel like even though Titans can't swim, like, it depends how deep the water was. Because they could just walk. Unless they float.
Like, it's, like, over here, like, this is just, like, crazy thinking, but, like, in the to-be-continued screen, you see the Titans. My first instinct is, like, etchings, like, in a cave, right? Cave painting. And it's like, okay, so this is probably right when Titans appeared, and then they sailed over to another land, and it seems like they're just, like, walking away. Like, that's their safe haven, seemingly, right? And if that, like...
It does mimic whatever the art style would be of the current people who were traveling, documenting their leave and their heading to a new civilization for humans.
Does that mean that they're safe? They took boats over. They're on the other side. Like, are they safe there? Because, like, we don't see the Titans, like...
That depends. Is this a imagery of a river? Is this imagery of a ocean? Because if it was a river, Titans could just walk around and eventually get to them.
If it was a river, I don't think they use, like, full-on sailboats, bro. I was about to ask, like, there's no way this is drawn to scale, right? No, look at the castle, like, the people running, but, like, I don't know.
In the top, the Titan is holding a person.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed that. But yeah. So many questions.
So little answers.
So many seasons to answer those questions. Congrats to everyone who got to watch the first episode of season 4.
Yeah, we've had to quit social media.
Wait, what?
We've had to quit social media, I said, because that's just...
We definitely wanted to avoid anything that could be posted. This is probably... I've done social media breaks before, but
This is a different level.
This is a different level. I'm like, before it was just like, mental health, you know? You don't need to be seeing all that stuff. And now it's like, oh my God, I have to protect myself from seeing these things.
Honestly, I mean, it's like no question about it worth it.
Definitely.
If I knew what happened, I'm like, I've addressed previously how I won't let my friends tell me main characters of shows' names because if
they ever do, he's like, ah.
Yeah, I get so upset about it because like I feel like when you write a story and you want people to read it, you are meant to experience that story in that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, so anything that interrupts you and your experience from experiencing that story the way it was intended sucks. And that's why I'm so upset about Spider-Man No Way Home. Look, I love Marvel, and I'm really, really into Marvel stuff, and I, for some insane reason, told myself, no, Ben, don't go see this movie that you've been waiting for since it was announced, so you can watch it on the channel. And I'm like, awesome, great, it's coming out sometime in February to streaming services, but social media
there's time in between.
Like social media has killed one of the biggest surprises in it for me, unfortunately, because like granted, like I'm not like, it makes sense, I get it, but it just sucks. And like to just finish that point and cap it off, like I wish I got to experience it with no knowledge and no spoilers and nothing, and just the way that it was intended to be seen the first time. And I am very excited to not go on any social media so we can continue watching this story like this, because I am having a lot of fun.
I never thought of names being a huge issue, but then I was just thinking to myself how many like anime I've watched where the main character's name means something huge for their personality or the story, what's gonna happen to them, you know? So yeah. It is a big tell about the character, because characters are a lot of the time named on purpose, something. So, yeah.
If we spoke fluent Japanese and understood it, we would obviously understand that to a different, like an even further degree, because like names literally come from yeah. But I don't know. All right, that's all I have, you.
That's all I have.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we hope to see you next time. I love the attention to detail in the show.